Good evening and welcome everyone. My name is Savi and I am student mentor here at Hit Bullseye. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all our attendees. We are excited to have you in us as the Explore Symbiosis Law School, the pathway to global legal opportunities and SLAT success, an essential area of law that has profound implication in both legal practice and everyday life. Whether you are a seasoned professional, a law student, or simply curious about this topic, today's session will offer valuable insights and practical knowledge and an opportunity to deepen your understanding of key legal principles. So, our esteemed guest, Dr. Shashikala Gupta, Director of SLS, with us. So, I'll give introduction of Ma'am. Ma'am is an expert in this field, bringing 31 years of experience and expertise. Ma'am is distinguished academician and orator, having presented more than 325 invited lectures, workshops, and seminars across India, US, UK, Germany, Australia, Canada, and UAE. Ma'am has an outstanding career with a wide range of experience in teaching, research, and industry, and has been continuing with Symbiosis Law School since 2007. She is a pioneer of EU legal studies in India. Dr. Gurpu received PhD in international law from Mysore University, where she was also the topper and gold medalist in LLM. Her teaching and research interest includes jurisprudence, media laws, international law and human rights, feminist legal studies, biotechnology law, law and social transformation. Besides guiding more than 60 masters and 20 PhD students throughout the sessions, feel free to ask questions, participate in discussion, and engage with the material. We want this to be interactive and informative as possible. So I think without any further ado, we should start the session. And please, ma'am, the session handles to you, ma'am.
Good evening, one and all, especially team Hit Bullseye and team SL Pune, alongside our on behalf of us, the team SRV, who are facilitating this dialogue today. I'm very honored to be with you all. I'm very honored to know that so many of you through Hit Bullseye have assembled here virtually to learn about what is it that takes to be in a globally carved pathway for legal profession. Now, why did we choose this title? Many reasons. One is that you are listening to the person who is serving this great organization, Symbiosis Law School, Pune, which began its journey in 1977 as constituent of Symbiosis International University. Now it stands for the DNA of internationalization, where we look at the entire humanity as one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is our tagline. And the very origin of this symbiosis, in terms of its higher education ventures, started with the law school, which has justice in its essence. So when I play the PowerPoint presentation, I'm sure for us Sanket is playing there, or shall I play Sanket?
I'll be the one to
You
share.
have access as well, do you? So, yeah. Otherwise, I will play. If that is okay with you, I have it ready
No,
here.
no problem, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, you
I'll
can
do
also
that.
continue.
Uh, so, if you look at this presentation, how do we begin it? I say that it's uh, the pathway to global legal opportunities and SLAT success as a dialogue that we have here. But it is about this law school, which is a happy, safe, caring campus where everyone finds themselves as a justice defender. So it's not just about knowing the law in the context of BBA or BA subjects. It's about readying oneself to be the voice of those who are suffering due to injustice or who may not be able to articulate what they are going through in terms of deprivation of rights and helping them or preventing any such possibility by being an eminent legal expert. So that is what this journey ensures. And I'm very happy teams like Hit Bullseye are readying you for facing this tough selection test, which I should tell you selects only 300 for Pune and another 300 each for our sister campuses in Hyderabad, Nagpur, and Noida among about 20,000 aspirants. So this year we expect that to be much more because we have come out to you with the timing that CLAT has used to select such candidates for the prestigious National Law Schools of India. So I would like to share with you our entire journey and then some of the anxieties that you may have. How is the process here? How is this exam? How do I prepare? How do I stay focused in 5 years journey? How is that success story of X, Y, or Z who has clinched that star placement or ace placement to the Linklaters or to Baker and McKinsey. How exactly did this law school shape that journey? You must be very curious. It is something that is like reading a fine print because it's not told in any advertisement. These are to be gathered from human stories, right? So what is that? What is that story? So that's what we would like to share with you in this brief stint. I'm very, very grateful for both SRV and Hit Bullseye for facilitating this dialogue because in large numbers, all of you coming together in one meeting point is not easy. That too on the eve of a weekend. And being aspirants of such a competitive test, I don't think you have any difference between the weekday and the weekend. But I really thank you for all of this. Now, my biodata has already been read, but I would like to share with you, with the help of this biodata, that for women, law is much more a promising career in terms of its guarantee of prosperity, guarantee of power, guarantee of skills to navigate the otherwise male-defined kind of landscape of life as well as law. So my entire journey has been from a rural recess in a very remote village near Mangalore in India, where I studied, I did all my school studies in the vernacular medium. If I could lead one of the top 5 law schools in the country, it was possible only because of the law degree aside from the leadership qualities that the legal studies um, inculcated in me. Therefore, no woman candidate who is here should have second doubt that is law for me. It is law where we need to be there to make ourselves felt, to use it to our advantage, to see that at the table we have a place, and when we get a place to see that we speak. We just don't have the place, but we speak, and we speak the right language and maneuver the power to the advantage of many women like us. So with that in the background, let me introduce this law school to you. We come to you as a team of four law schools for this great university symbiosis. But I will be unveiling before you authentically the experiences from Symbiosis Law School Pune because I took over as the director of this law school and as the dean faculty of law in 2007 when we were passing out the first batch of this university. We were in existence since 1977, but as the affiliate of Pune University. Today, Pune University has almost 100 law schools. At that time, we were one of the only two in Pune. So we have that background of being in the fold of the public governance and public law school. From there, we took a new opportunity which was available by the liberalizing landscape of higher education, which made us give you the kind of offers that you have today, a very unique way of getting our graduates profession ready. So this freedom couldn't have been possible but for being a constituent of this great university. So what is unique to us? Quickly, let me tell you. One is our curriculum where we engage all the stakeholders. So this year also, I was bringing the legal head of ICICI to my first year law class so that they get to know how this bank has used artificial intelligence in resolving, let us say, something like 80,000 disputes in one go. So how it could be possible? Is there this kind of a blockchain technology and other data analytics which have been bringing into the law new strengths? Shouldn't tomorrow's graduate know about it? So this is the way in which we engage the stakeholders in imparting the curriculum, in creating new avenues of reviewing and redesigning the curriculum to meet the emerging needs of the nation as well as the world. You all know that today legal profession is globally opening up. India has liberalized the access to legal profession from abroad to this country, which means that tomorrow we are competing with the kind of state-of-the-art technology, state-of-the-art legal expertise, which is going to flow into this country from lead jurisdictions of London or New York or Singapore. So we are training you in those skills. This is the only law school where a very structured skills training is done right from day one. I'm telling you, right from day one. We do the periodic review of our mentees' progress and how the syllabus is imparted, because not all my five fingers are alike. So some of my teachers may adopt a different kind of pedagogy. So then we make an intervention and see that two strong teachers come together or four strong teachers come together and complement each other in terms of reaching the best to our future graduates. And then we have faculty engaging everywhere and supporting you. There was a question on how many clubs do you have. We have more than 27 cells and clubs, and these clubs are ranging from generic repertoire of leadership, thematic areas like environmental consciousness, to technology and intellectual property rights, to corporate, and then the specific co-curricular, extracurricular cells such as the sports cell, cultural cell, music club, dance club. Then the specific need clubs such as Gender Champions, the Northeastern Club, the Constitutional Club, among others. So here faculty actively supports you. Our engagement has been with the national bodies, international bodies in terms of providing research, publishing together. So you see there in that second orange circle, something called SCALCER, which is Symbiosis Center for Advanced Legal Studies. Again, the only law school which has consolidated this kind of a higher thinking, higher order thinking skills in terms of research skills, cutting across all avenues of profession, and also bringing out solid reports by collaborating with policy research organizations such as WIDI, among others, so that the undergraduate students engage in these mega research projects. Look at the right-hand side. We have 4 European funded projects to our credit, and these projects have helped us in bringing 21st century skills to our curriculum. The Jean Monnet grant, which I hold in my name, has made us available the chair in climate change law policy and justice, which also got us recently another grant from DAAD, whereby 3 students from India will go to Germany every year, and 3 from there will come here, and the Nepalese students will be acting to go between the two, and all 3 together will be doing certain activities in sustainable development goals. So this is where we are a very futuristic law school, working on the emerging areas, very much up to date and scientific in our approach. We have a Jean Monnet module, which my senior colleague, Dr. Bindu, and team handle, and it is about legal environment of doing business in India and EU. This is so interesting that the students get a module of certification where teachers are coming from all over the world, particularly from Europe and then from Symbiosis Law School. Under the Jean Monnet chair, we have a certificate program, we have an advanced certificate program, curriculum translating into actual classroom learning as part of our environmental law course, again facilitated by European and Indian teacher, predominantly myself, but there are other industry experts are also who are coming. Something like you might have heard of sustainability professionals, or ESG, environment, social and governance aspects, which are very much evolved in the EU side because of the Paris Agreement. So we have developed this kind of very unique curriculum in benchmarking with the best from Europe. Then we have this grant, which Government of India has made available for international expertise to come in, SPARK grant, and we have it sanctioned with co-investigators from top 100 universities of the world, the Stockholm University in Sweden, Milan University in Italy, and then the lawyers, I mean, I lead the project, and with me there are my faculty members like Professor Raj and others who are specialized in AI law. Here we are focusing on the patient safety and healthcare in terms of interface with the legal and ethical framework and AI. And then you see on the left-hand side, let me take you through the separate law entrance test. Like CLAT being there for national law schools, LSAT being there for international admissions, we have Symbiosis, SLAT, Symbiosis Law Admission Test, which was actually piloted in 2009. But because Symbiosis was running all the undergraduate entrance exam at a time, but some of you mightn't have noticed the unique identity of this test. This has come of time now. Now we are going all alone without the company of our other undergraduate sister institutions in non-law discipline, because we want to time ourselves with the CLAT for your own convenience, dear parents and students. So here we have the test, which is conducted in 60 marks, which is translated into 70 marks, with the 5 divisions allocated 12 marks each. And then the 30 marks come from personal interview. The test is done in the selected centers in the entire country. When you apply, your admission cards later on will be generated and you will be given the choice. And then you will be appearing for the test, computer facilitated test. But then the interview is completely online. So this interview carries 30% weightage. So some of you are a little nervous. How do I prepare? I'm just a 12th standard child. I tell you, don't be nervous, because out of the 30 marks, almost 12 is dedicated for all that you are nervous about. That is your communication, your articulation about the current legal affairs that the panel may ask you. But rest of the marks are divided between what we call as co-curricular, extracurricular, and your score. Your score in the 10th examination will be taken into consideration. And then based on the percentage that you have achieved, there are slabs ranging from 1 to 5. So if you are above 80%, you are 5 on 5. So it is not an interview where you will have 0 on 30. Don't be nervous about it. And please, we encourage students who are, what we say, the not jacks of all trades, not master of all trades, because at this young age, you should be jumping jacks because you are full of life, and law needs a lot of burning midnight oil, sacrifice. So we want that kind of high energy, all-rounder, well-rounded personalities. So we have certain marks dedicated for any extra qualification or any achievement at the national and international and regional level. Even school level is recognized, but the marks are less. So you can show up to 2 to 3 certificates, excellent certificates of national, international, because those who have certificates tend to have a big encyclopedia of certificates, but everything may not fetch you marks because the marks are limited. So this is how your personal interaction is a very multifactorial kind of assessment, whereby we finally decide based on your responses to the scenarios or questions that we ask, whether you have that resilience, whether you have the openness, whether you have the ethical readiness to be the product of this law school. And if we give you the opportunity to study here, will you bear our flag flying high? So this is how personal interaction is something I'm sure Hit Bullseye and all those you who are mentoring you, I have read about them also, where they are very flexible and they are giving you in your self-paced way the mentorship. I'm sure that this kind of mentorship will be given by them as well, which should give you enough confidence, which should boost your confidence to face it and go at it. Now, coming to this law school, one more thing that you see here, it's a very democratic kind of culture that we encourage here. We believe in free speech. We believe in academic freedom. We believe in right to be dissenting, because right to dissent is the core of democracy. But then at your age, you may mistake dissent for irrational dissent. So sometimes we may tell you that this is your boundary, don't cross this. So never ever we will apply any kind of unreasonable kind of approach to students, because we believe that till you are shown that rationality, it's a tough process. Once you are shown the rationality, for the irrationality, we will be taking the reform and reintegration route and not the punishment route. So be assured. So this is going to be a very welcoming place. And you see there, all those reds and blues, these are all the ranks that we have achieved. 2023, we were 5th. 2024, we became 1st in some surveys. And then 2024, we clinched 5th in the NIRF ranking. But you must know that between 2023 and 2024 and 2022, etc., we have doubled the number of law schools applying for this ranking, and we have still maintained the lead. Now comes your question, why this profession? And how do we look at what we call as global opportunities? How do we ready ourselves? I tell you, although law looks like it is Indian law, American law, European law, ultimately all law has got something in the core. You know what it is? All law had produced great leaders, and it is the legal profession which has helped build society and the nation. You look at the greatest movement, Rotary, it was created by a lawyer. You look at American independence movement, it was a lawyer who led it, George Washington. Some of the greatest presidents in the American history have been from our profession. Ours is the only profession which is mentioned in the Constitution. Constitution doesn't say everyone has a right to have a doctor, but Constitution says everyone has a right to legal aid and to have an advocate of their choice. What else you need? So the application of our profession or coverage of a profession is from ground to sky and birth to death. Because from ground to sky, how much is the fly zone and what is not the fly zone, we tell, we lawyers tell, our rules tell. Therefore, every human operation is defined by us, regulated by us. The global parallels will show you that whether it is Martin Luther King in the US or Barack Obama or our own Harish Salve becoming Queen's Counsel in England. Mahatma Gandhi started as a law student in London, and then he goes to South Africa, and then he leads the movement against apartheid and ends up as the greatest leader that India has produced in releasing India from the clutches of colonialism. So this is the power of our profession. And this is one profession which has a say whether it is recession or whether it is prosperity. Because during recession, if someone is thrown out of the house, mortgages are haunting at them, it is us lawyers who approach the banks. We look at a mutually agreeable settlement or some kind of a reprieve to be given, job opportunities to be coming in the way, alternative advices to be given to the client, filing a stay in that court so that this client is not thrown out of the house. So it is our profession which is recession proof as well. I'm not able to move. Yeah. So it is this slide which tells you that law can have an international edge because the law firms can have international operations. Means the investor who is investing in India from abroad approaches a law firm which is in India, or he or she may have their law firm abroad which will tie up with the law firm in India, because within India how things operate, they may not be able to have a smooth going. Secondly, corporate areas. An Indian corporation having expanded its global operations started long ago when the Tatas went the Jaguar way in the US, I mean, most sought after cars, or when our Bharat Forge had its branch in Germany. Or now SP Jain is looking at acquiring a university in the United States of America. So when trans-border transactions happened in the post-globalization era, it is we lawyers who did the whole risk management, risk calculation, and legal protection, right to compensation if conflicts arose, to look at settlement of disputes, because we don't have an international court for non-political matters. So this is where our role came. And we don't sit alone. We sit with the interdisciplinary teams. Let me guarantee you, the way you are going to study the law in Symbiosis Law School is exactly the same way, which simulates the real life. So that is why it's a learning here is a pathway to global opportunities. I already told you about AI and climate justice, which is our sentiment. Another area where we are very strong is cybersecurity and taxation law. So we used to offer a taxation diploma earlier, but now we have the curriculum. We have CAs and CSs coming and teaching. So a lot of students derive their inspiration to be ready for internships, and then in the internship they pick up new interests. For example, capital markets, a number of our alumni in last 5 to 7 batches have become experts in that, and they head the teams, they become members of the teams which clinch these large transactions, so, and big decision making or readiness for IPO for that matter. I hope I'm speaking the language which is what you want to hear in terms of how the opportunities of tomorrow are already conceived by us in our whole approach to the legal education. And we are bringing mandatorily the idea of data analytics to the class, content writing, journalism, policy making, research, and even readying for the career in academics. One of the most interesting activities we have is on the Teachers' Day. Students come and teach the class. And the other activities where students act as pals or mentors. This is all none of our conception. Students themselves came out with this idea. A student who signs up to train the fellow student or younger little slow studying student will get certain credits for that. So this is the best practices National Law School started when I was teaching there. Dr. Menon, all of us used to think of these students who came from rural areas, and a student who took them as roommates and developed them was always getting an academic credit. So what are the global legal opportunities? Aside from what I told you, international arbitration and dispute resolution. Like some of our students do their internship in Singapore or in London, we get assessment internship requests. We have a very elderly lawyer called Neeru from Singapore, who along with him, we also have the former CJ of Sri Lanka. They are all people who are trained in Harvard and other places on litigation skills. So they are willing to train our students. They will give online guest lectures, and they open up these internship avenues or recommend these internship avenues. And then we also have international arbitration matters being taken up in India, and some of the retired judges who are on the judge scholar in residence payroll of Symbiosis Law School bring these actual online interactions to our students' benefit. So some of our students assist them, they attend them, then they do the research for them. So this is how this legal opportunity comes, and the pathway starts. The other is international trade and investment law. I gave you the idea already. All this begins with the root of internship, and internship then getting as callback or repeat internship. Sometimes there are selective, what we call as assessment internships. You know, we don't make any discrimination. For us, that is a CV. We don't have any face in front of us. We just send the CVs. It is that future employer who makes the selection based on the skill sets. Therefore, we have a certain strategy. When you join the law school, we'll train in that minimum so many internships you should do consistently, and your internship should be showing these kinds of activities, and then they select this, and then they try you. No one wants to invest on somebody whom they do not know fully, emotionally and intellectually. So this is how opportunities blossom. And then we have opportunities for cross-border mergers and acquisition, for which we have the curriculum, and we have the practitioners coming and taking these modules with case studies which they have handled. And one most interesting addition that we have in our kitty since last year is the specialization in LLM on telecom, media, and technology law. This is a huge area, especially in the Netflix era. So many contracts of transnational nature with not just, I mean, right from content vetting in terms of legal
हॅलो
risk and other things to
झाली मी जॉईन
further is done.
हो
Dear candidate, please hold on. We finished this.
करत असतो कोणतरी बाहेर निघाला ना त्याच्याहून जातो
Hi, sorry.
Continue.
Please, dear, mute
Con-
yourself. We are
uh,
sorry for the interruption, ma'am. Ma'am, you are not audible.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you were not
Yeah.
audible. Audible
So
now.
can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, perfectly.
Ah, so going further, environmental law and climate justice, I told you already about sustainability professionals, thousands of them are required in future. And sustainability is not just about that green part of the law. It is also about aligning it with the market in terms of green investments, among other things, or green concerns in all investments. So SEBI also has come out with a lot of regulations. So these compliances could develop a lot of careers for students. Transnational criminal law, very important area with the cyber and other security issues coming in, global contracts, global marriages, global migration as the main concerns of private international law. So these are all the global legal opportunities which are coming. So what do we do? There was one question on what kind of specialization support do we do? One is we spot our alumni. We have a whopping base of 20,000 alumni who are in the telling positions with leadership and expertise across India and across the world also. Secondly, we have industry guest lectures. Thirdly, we have skills training, which is within the law school with the combo of all these expertise, plus number of internships that we facilitate. And then we have the peer support, where alumni act as buddies or hand holding, then curated internships, and then we do certain mocks and simulations in the class as well. For some reason, I'm not able to move. Next slide, please. I'm playing, but thank you. So pathways into global legal opportunities. What are the pathways in the legal opportunities? Special opportunities, if you ask me, one is international law firms. So one could be an associate or partner. So the two placements that were clinched this year, it went from being internship to placement. So nothing less than 55 lakhs a year kind of package. We have had very good experience of students starting in India for 2 years in a big law firm and then going for a master's abroad and then getting opportunities in England. Now, right now, I have 4 of my graduates who are being offered the Magic Circle law firm jobs. We had one candidate who came from a very, very rural area near Himachal Pradesh. Came as a very simple boy, but he was like you all, he appeared for the exam and he was in the first list. And then after coming here, he never wasted any opportunity. So in the 4th year, he got this internship opportunity, which converted into a job in Linklaters, again, Magic Circle law firm. We have multinational corporations where our students come as in-house counsels. One of our old batch students is now the legal general counsel in a very big oil giant. Another is in the e-commerce, again a giant, and this candidate of ours is one of the top experts in the world in contract law. So this is the kind of capital you are investing in a law school like this. And then international organizations, we have had students interning when they were studying in New York and then being given the fellowship in World Bank, among others. NGO and human rights organization, our students have interned with the International Criminal Court. One of them has become a prosecutor in Rwanda, among others. Then policy formulation and development. One of my recent graduates, she got an internship in Vidhi and then she was absorbed as an employee. So this is how the whole trajectory talks about global legal opportunities. And this trajectory is no different for our candidates who have done their degree here and then they have gone abroad for masters and come back to India and have taken up such trajectory also. So all kinds of permutations and combinations are possible. I must tell you now one new thing that has happened, which I'm going to talk about later, is that when you're studying here, you go abroad, accumulate credits, which could convert into master's program. That is also happening in our case, like some of very few in India, law schools are doing it. So as a pathway to global legal education, what do we do? What is unique about our teaching learning process? One is we have an activity approach where students get a lot of opportunity to do the summer schools or visit abroad. Foreign faculty also come here. Then process approach where our curriculum and pedagogy is benchmarked with the best in the world because we send our curriculum to be reviewed by them also. Some of them come and teach or they may come online. Ethos approach, where we give opportunity to learn languages such as Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, French, German. Large number of takers are for German and Spanish. Some of them give up in the middle. But this is how it is coming. And we have an exclusive course on cross-cultural communication. And then we have the outreach program. Then competency approaches in terms of different student and faculty profile. This is the only university which has got the highest number of foreign students compared to the ratio of Indian students. And we charge less and we take special care of foreign students because our evolution was because of the compassion we had for the students from the lesser privileged parts of the world. We give special training in skill building and career opportunities to get the global career opportunities. We have global institutional networks whereby we are able to have our referees in all over the world in different jurisdictions, aside from our alumni who help us. If you look at the internationalization, legal education is very difficult to internationalize. But I'm very humbled to share with you that we have done it in Symbiosis Law School because of the very strong theoretical focus also, because of the exposure I had in Fulbright, among many other things, and the ecosystem of Symbiosis. So we do that 10-point internationalization in curriculum, language and competence, student exchange, semester abroad, and flexible credit transfer, customized student program. We have something called collaborative online international learning, whereby 3 to 4 universities come together, take up a common theme. Students from these 4 universities develop a research at the end of it, which can get published or become a monograph. And then we have very diverse profiles of student and faculty, career opportunities, I told you already, research collaborations, international trial court advocacy with the international criminal law provisions, visiting faculty programs, institutional networks, and the outreach that we have. So then the next question is, what is so unique other than these about our programs? Quick glance. One is specialized moot court training by US faculty. In the very first semester, you will have a US faculty coming here who will make you think like lawyers on simple day-to-day observations, like if you are walking your pet, and then if your neighbor comes and attacks your pet, what will be the legal dimension of it? Something as simple as that. Or your neighbor maintains a pet and you have allergy to pet and the neighbor doesn't give a damn. What are the legal consequences of that? So such simple things are taken up, and then you are trained in the way to think, argumentativeness, the reasoning, and then drafting a plaint. So this is how we bring the best in the world to you so that you have that cutting edge and be globally ready. A vibrant campus life. This is health promoting university, one of the very few in the country. So our students are given full round healthcare, mental as well as physical, and then the gyms and the sports grounds. And there is a special physical director who takes care of this. And we are a caring organization as far as you youngsters are concerned. Then you get the opportunity to join JD program in Arizona or Penn State University, many universities in UK, including Birmingham University, which is the Russell Group, participation in summer schools, semester exchange, and diverse careers, as I told you already. At least we have produced in the district level about 50 judges, 3 women sitting judges, totally about 4 sitting judges in the High Court of Maharashtra, and district judges in Madhya Pradesh as well. Recently also in Punjab, in Rajasthan, in Uttar Pradesh, we have had large number of alumni clearing the judicial test. One of our lady students cleared the All India Defence Service exam in the top rank among others. So we have had this public service stint as well exhibited by our students with distinction. if you look at the glimpse of our internationalization, so these are some of the very interesting glimpses in past few years. If I bring all of them, I can make one presentation on that, but quickly, I'm showing the evidences of what I've told you already and how we have aligned it with the emerging phenomena such as Sustainable Development Goals. We won the Herbert Smith Freehills, which is the globally top law firm. So all these strides started in 2016. You know how we were noticed by global law firms, not just about our curriculum and internationalization. It is by the community service we did with the prisoners and red light area in Pune. Therefore, do good, you will do well. So that's the philosophy that every lawyer should adopt. And for us, it has worked. And that's how now we are globally recognized for the excellent law graduates who come out of this law school. Now, as far as international placements are concerned, look at this slide carefully. On the left-hand side, I have shown you the highest CTC grossed by our students and national highest CTC in 19.5 lakhs and international is 52.52 lakhs. And international recruiters include Baker and McKinsey in London, Linklaters, London, 14 Sports Law, Portugal, Venus Karma Trading, Qatar, Hira Industries LLC, Dubai. I have one of my old students who was a little slow to be so serious, but now working in Al Jazeera in the content validation team. So this is how international placements have happened. NYK law firm and then in Dubai also we have had law firms. So the names have been given here. International internships we have had in US, in Portugal, in Dubai, Singapore, US again, UK, and Nepal Law Commission, Sri Lanka, among others. On the right-hand side, I've got these number of countries within Asia and outside where our students have had these internships. You know, ideally, internships get repeated and then they become placements. Now, quickly about the test, the point in discussion today. I hope all of you are well set or getting ready for this great test of your life, which is going to give you excellent opportunity or window to your future. Somewhere one student has written that thank you for organizing this and do we have international guest faculty also? Yes, in a particular semester, if you walk the portals of Symbiosis Law School, you will have at least 4 international faculty. You know what happened? COVID-19 brought this down to the virtual interaction, but we are picking up to the pre-COVID or more than that because of our research projects. So this week, we already have 2 international faculty coming from Europe, and last few weeks had seen some faculty, and now we have senior students from Germany also doing their DAADS DG project with our team. Now, we have 2 types of, 2 parts of this entrance test. 2 tests, you have 2 attempts on the 13th of December and 15th of December, purely computer-based test. And then it will be multiple choice questions, which consists of general knowledge, logical reasoning, analytical reasoning, English and legal reasoning. I wouldn't say basic, but it's comprehension in terms of testing your ability to make conclusions and language usage. The personal interaction is purely online. Then there is somebody asked, is there a change from the past pattern? Answer, no. We haven't changed and we are not going to change the pattern at all. And mock tests, we are doing the mock test. It is available on the SLAT website as well. And about how the test pattern is, I have already told you 2 parts. Preparing for the interview, I already told you already because I had many questions seen on that. Keep your, after your exam, don't do anything now. Once your headache of the test is gone, you prepare a beautiful file of yours where you will keep all your certificates and documentation. And work on your articulation, how quickly you can answer, because you get only 8 minutes of interaction. So how quickly you can answer a question. You have a lot of mocks with yourself in front of the mirror. You can practice your articulation. You know, general public speaking, I mean, I'm a trained Toastmaster. General public speaking training will do a lot of good to everybody because communication is the key to our civilization and our success in life, and your ethical clarity and your legal acumen. So most of the questions we have addressed here directly or indirectly in this slide. But I end my presentation here with the profound gratitude to our partners and supporters and all of you, dear parents and students. But I would now request the moderator to come in if there are more questions that you would like to particularly focus on. Most of it we have covered, and
Yes.
certain deeper layers also we have unveiled, because you, with so much trust and with so much of collaborative spirit you have brought us, so we thought we will discuss this. We took that liberty. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for such a wonderful session. First time in a day, I thought I know less about law. And this session was so insightful that, I was just making the pointers so that I can guide students in future in that way.
Right.
I won't say that I am perfect, but yes, I've noted down the pointers. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
So, students, it's a chance for you. Please drop your questions in the chat box. We are ready to take your questions. And we'll take your questions one by one. So, ma'am, I've already answered Shivani's question,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, the questions related to the dates and everything, which is already solved. So, there is a question which was, seems interesting.
Yeah.
So, one of the student asked about the VAT process. So it is the same that you mentioned earlier about the interview part, right, ma'am?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah.
what process, madam?
The VAT process, ma'am. WAT VAT process, the interview and everything.
No. WAT means writing ability test.
Writing everything. Yes.
Ha. We have dropped that writing ability test precisely because of you guys overtaking us in artificial intelligence. So we want to,
So,
that is one. Second is, you are very young. We are keeping WAT process for our advanced courses such as LLM and 3-year LLB. But as far as the 5-year program is concerned, we have dropped the WAT process. We are restricting it to 70% weightage for the entrance test and 30% to the interview.
right, ma'am. So there is a direct question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a direct question from Sakshi. She wants to know, do we have any extracurricular activities and club contributing to the overall personal development of the students?
Yes, we have. So we have about, as I told you already, more than 27 cells and clubs. Now they range from co-curricular. Co-curricular is intellectual, which is debating, quizzing. Of course, Student Bar Association is mandatory for all students. Every student is a member of that. Then based on your interest, you can choose any two cell, or you can do a gradation from first year to second year, or remain in the same activity also. So there are these opportunities which are coming, which are mainly training you to work in a team, to fulfill a project, to undertake tasks, and also how to avoid conflict or deal with the conflict and work smoothly and pull off that project. So we give fair opportunity, and then you would have seen our student body, 2,500 strength student body. We will have 200 leaders, 1:10 kind of leadership avenues open. But all 2,500 are mandated to participate. But nobody takes that interest more than 10%, 20%. When we were students also, same problem. So we came out with one idea, that those who take more interest, they will be given overall a 10% consideration, overall 10 marks consideration in a given semester, which will be either distributed across all the courses, or in the course where there is a deficit, which is bringing their grade down from, let us say, A to B plus. There we could take advantage of that. So students are taking more interest. We have seen students such as students from rural background, student from Northeast, sometimes gender means some girls or some shy boys also may not take this opportunity. So we see that, we do the review, and then we tell the leadership that we see deficit of this group of students not participating, so get them in. So this also we do. Therefore, you can be trusting that in terms of personality development. Another avenue which makes you grow here is that if you are in a particular region in India, you would be exposed to certain type of student body. The minute you come to Symbiosis, you have a diverse student body. We won even in the QS ranking for diversity, very high score. In the NIRF ranking also for diversity, we won very high rank. Because of this way in which we respect the differences and we facilitate the growth of all at a time. Yeah, thank you.
Ma'am, initially when we had the webinar, the starting phase of webinar,
Yeah,
you mentioned that how beautiful this course is for women, right?
yeah.
So I'm the mentor and I counsel students, the girls, boys related to law. There is the frequent, there are the frequent questions asked by the girls that how safe it is for girls to pursue law as a part of society is still male dominant. So your pointers on this, ma'am.
Yeah, very good question. One reason why I tell you, I was brought up in a convent educated background. So we were not allowed to, my first, of course, in the rural school, we were co-ed. It was very natural in rural schools, boys and girls. We didn't have much of a difference because inherently there was a restriction. But when we came to college, it was all women's college. From all women's college coming to a co-ed in the law school where everybody is political. And in our times, mind you, girls, we were 8 girl students in a class of, with 5 divisions, some 200 students. 8 girl students. Out of 8, 2 were getting engaged and they would leave anytime. The other 2 were there because their horoscope had some bad things. So for 1 year, they will wait. If they get a good suitor, they will quit the law school. Then there were a couple of them who were there because they had gotten married from some other city and husbands will be busy in the day. So they thought, why not do law? So no motivation. Today, you guys in meritorious exam, you are competing and you are coming in. I tell you, every year, our percentage of girls is more than the boys. That
Wonderful.
shows that given a fair chance and competition, as Amartya Sen said, a girl has a better chance of survival than the boy. Now, your fear, where is your fear coming from? Don't allow fear to limit you. Your fear comes from a practical basis. Everyone wants an easy path in life. Take the road which is less traveled because you carve that path. Of course, it hurts. There will be thorns because nobody has walked that path. There will be your feet will be bleeding, but at the end of the day, you are setting that path for many other girls. Don't forget that. So we had in Karnataka, we had Pramila Nesargi, the first woman to have her own office. But what worked to her advantage was she met a judge when she met because she was a very good practitioner and she was always winning cases and criminal law, mind you, in the 70s. And this judge took a liking to her. She got married to him, but nobody ever knew Pramila was the wife of a judge. Everybody knew her as a top class lawyer. Today we have Reba John and many other good criminal lawyers, lady lawyers, excellent lady expertise, guides, top law firms. Why? Why anyone? Look at Miss Zia Modi. She should be a great role model for all of you. We have to sacrifice, we have to unlearn. For example, once I was told by somebody very close to Ms. Zia Modi's family that, I mean, they are a professional family. You all must be knowing her father was a great lawyer, Soli Sorabji. Madam, in the day, she 24 hours she works and she may be in the office, next minute she is in the taxi and she might be in the airport, and another minute she doesn't know which other airport she is going to travel to. This is a kind of busy schedule to do an annual turnover of anything, nothing less than 600 crores. So life is that kind of demanding life. Choice is yours, but there are many, many role models. I don't think she inherited that 600 crore turnover easily. She made it. It is self-making. 3 of them together. So all of us can be first. I mean, I'm the first graduate in the 3 generation of women who were very happy owning lands and calling themselves as landed gentry. But I took the detour. I wanted to make a career because my grandmother and my mother encouraged me to go in the educational way. I didn't listen to the men of the house. I listened to the women. They said that for women, making their own identity and their own impact, having their own freedom is very important. Then, life choices come. For example, I want to have my own family and my child in my 25 or 30th year. And then by my 40, I want to have a business with my husband, or I want to go on my own into business and he will have his own business. So many choices happen. But make those choices not because somebody compels you, not because you feel you are a woman. I think being a woman should not be the reason why you don't make a good choice. It should be the reason why you make a good choice, because that choice wouldn't have had enough women bringing their viewpoint and enriching it. Therefore, there are so many A-class places waiting for us. So let's be A-class and let's set the trend. I was studying women in legal profession, the feminization of legal profession. If you look at judiciary, what is the percentage of women in the highest, topmost judiciary? What? Just a minute.
Ma'am, may I ask a question, please?
Yes, Gauri. Just wait for another 2 minutes. You can ask the question.
Okay.
Sorry for that disturbance. I was going on talking and it was going on interrupting. I didn't want this flow to be cut. So I was telling you that I was studying that. And when it came to advocates on record, the number of women is much less. And then if a woman client wants to approach Supreme Court, there are not many women who are there to act as advocates on their behalf. So the legal cost goes up for a legal woman client, or some of the things which she may not be able to share with the male lawyer. She may look for a woman leader there. So we should not shy away because we don't have a patron in our family as father or mother being a lawyer, or you are the first woman lawyer in the family. I tell you, for a sky is the limit, because I came from a family of no lawyers. I was hesitating to start my career in the district court. I could have gone to the high court, but then academics came in my way. So if you do well, you can do exceedingly well in any avenue that you take up. Not that it is easy. I told you, there are thorns. The path is uneven. It will hurt you. You will bleed. But at the end of the day, that success is worth the taste of it, because it has come with all sweat and blood. Therefore, I urge girls to feel that this profession is damn safe. If you find this profession not providing enough harmony or enough what we call as work-life balance, you have a choice. I wanted work-life balance when my son was growing up, but today work-life balance becomes very difficult for me, because if I were to say that I need only 7 hour work and rest of the time sit down, what will I do? If I'm engaging professionally, then I feel more energized. I'm being useful to more of the people, more of the things for the country I'm doing, for the youth I'm doing. So, purposeful life. Every woman has a right to such purposeful life. And a woman who leads such purposeful life will have a better sense of health and satisfaction. And women have such unique skill sets, which is trying to be in the service of this profession for better output of this profession and impact. Therefore, girls, you are most wanted here. Don't you ever have any self-doubt, because that is the one which brings half the energy down and half the power down. This question has been harped upon, whether it is safe. In fact, our profession is no exception to have these challenges. But then I must tell you that, like medical profession and like generally all professions, there is a larger degree of mutual respect in our profession. And there is a larger degree of support system and standing by in our profession. But then there are stronger examples of women in our profession than any other profession who set that trend. Look at people like Indira Jaising, with a lot of respect. I take this name, Flavia Agnes. who created the first journal, the Lawyers Collective, who created the movement of women lawyers, which resulted in so many legal changes, legislative reforms, among other things. So this is where we have to be at this time in historical juncture. When there is so much prosperity coming India's way, women should not miss it and women should lead it. Thank you.
Perfect, ma'am. Perfect. Ma'am, when I was deciding what domain to choose, I felt so sad because there were no one to guide us in that way. And I was not aware that these are the opportunities available for me. And I was
Correct.
limited with my few domains that, okay, these are the domains asked by my seniors, my brother and sister. So this is what I have to do. And nowadays, whatever it has been developed, the platforms, the people around us like you have so much to learn with, so much to change with. Thank you so much for that, ma'am. So I can see in the chat box there are the frequent questions related to BA and BBLLB. Whether it is better to choose BA, BBLLB, or 5 years LLB, or direct 3 years LLB. So, ma'am, I please a few pointers to elaborate on that, ma'am.
Two important questions, one by one, I will take up. What is the difference between BALLB and BBLLB? The answer is, as far as legal content is concerned, both the degrees are the same. But as far as basic degree is concerned, BA degree has got more of humanities content and BBA degree has got more of business and corporate related content. Now, the opportunity for BA students to have corporate related content in terms of soft skills is made available. The opportunity related to BBA students in terms of knowledge of governance is concerned, it is made available because we have something called floating credits, whereby we will be floating certain credits and students can choose and do it as top up credits from the institute like liberal arts or business administration institute, or our part-time diploma which we offer in international business law, which could enrich them if they have such desire, in addition to taking this basic degree. Now, as far as legal training is concerned, I told you that we have the 6 broad categories of legal careers. Those 6, if you again combine with different areas, they will total up to about 135. So in those 135, BBA and BA do not make any difference, because when you enter, let us say, an area of capital market, I have had for every 5 student of BBA LLB entering capital market because they've done the CS examination partially, CFA examination, or even without that, because it was their passion. They went and then their seniors mentored them. They worked these skills hands-on. Uh, for every 5 of them, I had at least 3 of the BAs also doing it. So it's all about how one chooses those various opportunities, puts that hard work, gets that niche competencies once they enter the law school and outside the law school during their learning by doing or practical exposure, how they make that selection. So I hope I have answered that question.
Very well said, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The,
students, yes,
the
yes.
other
Are you?
question.
Yeah, ma'am, before adding to other, moving forward to next question, I have to add very crucial point to all our students that we left with few hours to apply for official SLAT mock test, right? So to be eligible for this mock test, it is like you just have to complete your application by today itself, and mock test will display by 6th of October. So please register yourself and please try to contact us if you have any query. At the end of webinar, I'll drop my number here. So whatever your queries would be regarding booking slot or filling out your application, you can give us a call. Yeah. So I'll take the another question.
Ma'am, I just want to ask one question, if
Yes.
you can kindly
Yes.
allow me.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I just want to know about the comparison between the SLS Pune versus SLS Noida and Hyderabad, and what are the cutoffs for them?
Very good question. First point, what is the comparison between these law schools? One is, first comparison is in terms of the time. So SLS Pune evolved from 1977, and under the new university, it was the one and the first law school from 2002 onwards. whereas Noida Law School evolved as a second law school in 2010, and Hyderabad came in as the third one in 2014, and Nagpur as the fourth one in 2019. This is the first difference. The second difference in terms of the offering, the courses in Pune, BA LLB and BBA LLB, as Bar Council uses the word course, not program, they are honors. By honors, we mean the graduates learn 6 extra courses in a specialization bucket. We offer to the students in the international law, business law, and technology law bucket. Now, these six extra courses are not there in the regular graduation that is offered in our other 3 law schools. That is the major difference. Now, the other difference is that if you are looking for skills training in a structured manner is not part of the avenue there, but some kind of a cumulative insight they do give to their products, so that there is at least 80 to 90% of similarity and uniformity of standards across all the 4 law schools. So I rest my case as far as that part is concerned there. Now, the other question in terms of cutoff, obviously, because it is honors, intellectually more challenging and perceiving in a historical school, people choose to come here if everybody who applies to every law school applies to Pune. But the chances of selection is where it differs. So the top out of the 20,000 last, somebody was asking the question, how many last year? 15 to 20,000 last year. If we were to exclude those who opted for both the programs, about 15,000 you can say. All 15,000 applied here. And out of 15,000, we shortlist only 2,500 for the second level. So you can imagine the cutoff out of 60 is somewhere like 45 out of 60. So if less than 45, I'm not talking about categories. We have categories. You see, in categories, the cutoff may come a little low in diversity. Otherwise, it is about 45, 44. That is the range. But then the toppers in the regional background, like a Hyderabad student becoming a topper in the top, let us say out of 60, 55 or something, he or she may choose Hyderabad rather than Pune. That happens because they're young students. It may happen with the Noida candidate also, Nagpur candidate also. This exception I wouldn't rule out. But normally this is the range of the cutoff. This range may go 5 marks more or 5 marks less out of 60, depending on the brilliance of the cohort. The distinction between candidate who gets in and doesn't get in can be as minuscule as 0.1. So this is something that you need to pay attention to. Be a perfect test taker, please, and prepare well. I hope I have answered all the questions. Yeah, thank you.
Ma'am, my
Thank you.
second question is whether that GK that is coming will be a static or it will be a current affairs.
Good question. Now, the static GA is always, GK is always for civil service. I was a civil service aspirant. In our kind of field, we expect at least 50% to be current GK, current affairs. At least 50%, it may be 80%. It depends on the kind of final selection we make. Therefore, it's a combination of static and current.
Ma'am, my last question to you is how we can get the access to the various kind of mock papers or various kind of previous year papers, because we are not able to find anyone.
We
it
do
is quite
not
like
provide. Unfortunately, we have had a very rigid policy. This year, thanks to collaborators like SRV and young people like your wards, we have been little bit flexible in providing sample tests, in providing sample papers, mock tests. So otherwise, even coming together with the hit bullseye is something inconceivable in my last 17 years of service. I was the first to protest when I was asked. So today we have come a long way in because of the transparency and openness and all of that. So forgive us if we sound a little bit closed, but we do not have any repository of question paper that we give access to. But don't worry, if you are taking these mock tests and sample tests, the real examination will be in the same structure and in the same format. The content varies. As you said, the GK can be recent, certain things can be recent, case laws can be recent. So that's all I can offer you. Thank you.
Gauri, I have already sent you the link in the chat box. You can register, you complete your application form by today itself, and so that you can, easily achievable of your marks and everything.
We have already done that. We have done one,
That's
in
great.
fact, what's a month back.
Oh, that's good.
One more thing that is actually worrying me, ma'am. Like these days, there are multiple global law schools that are nurturing and mushrooming everywhere in the part of the city in the Delhi, especially in Delhi NCR. So, what is like as a father, I am now asking you, being an
Mm.
IITN, whether it will go for SLS Noida. What is like since you are dealing with all the institutes.
Yes,
So,
sir.
how good SLS Noida would be as compared to the IB university colleges?
It would be wrong for me to brag about our own product excessively, but objectively speaking, perfectly trying to address your genuine parental concern, I would say that we have maintained the same standard. I always use this phrase. If you have come to Pune, we are like Vaishali Masala Dosa. No matter which year, same chutney, same sambar kind of everything. Means that standard, the commitment to the ethical value, the discipline in the student, and no double speak, laying the right standards, giving that personal attention, and also giving that time tested formula of ours, which has produced such excellent legal talent, um, day in and day out, without compromising in any manner. You can be guaranteed in any of our law schools, especially in Noida, because Dr. Ravandale was with me. He's a cardiac product, and he worked closely with me when I was revamping the whole approach in the Pune Law School, and then he migrated to Noida when as the founding director. So, sir, please be assured you will never be disappointed.
And
I
then these
won't compare,
admissions will
no
be early.
comparison to others. Sorry.
Ma'am, and these admissions will be early or for admissions, like in January only the admissions will be done, or like it would be in May, June or
Good
something.
question, sir. Which those important dates are there in our announcement, but I should have spoken about that. Sir, now the exam gets over. We have important dates by which we will have the the interview of the children who are selected. And then we will announce a merit list by mid-February, first merit list, and all merit list will close. And actual classes will begin after your children finish their 12th standard, which will be in July. So the academic life cycle will be July. The process will be beginning by the end of this year for 2025. So first time we have put a cycle in line with the cycle of the CLAT.
Ma'am, I
And
have a
sorry, I'm asking a lot many questions. Somehow by my curious nature, you can say or the curiosity should not kill the cat. But my last thing is that this legal judgments and like the books authors, these are easily available on like Google. So why we are asking this in this generation, these kind of questions in like slat kind of a competitive examinations
Sir,
and
what happens,
definitions.
if you come to my class one day, I'll show you. In a cohort of 60, you float one legal case or you float one human problem. How many of them think like uh, forensically? You are an IITian, forensically, based on facts and logic and reasoning. How many don't? You'll be very surprised to see all don't think alike. We want to grab those who can. That's why we give all this rigor. I mean, this started with us in the National Law School. I am one of the first team members of Dr. Menon. So, this is the reason, sir. I know they are very young, they are very tender. I myself don't like because I came after my science graduation into law. So, studying a criminal case as a graduate at the age of 21, I was disturbed. So, at the age of 17, we are expecting them, but we can't help. That is the rigor that is expected in this profession. And so many are the opportunities for these young graduates. Therefore, it's a bit of a difficult choice that we are making for the prosperity of our nation and opportunity for our next generation. Thank you.
Just a suggestion, ma'am. Because I was an instructor also in IIT. So just a suggestion might be maybe sound good or might be cynical to you. or whatever, ma'am.
No,
Like we can have a kind of a legal aptitude kind of a test where there only should be statements, facts, whether the person will be able to solve them or not, rather than asking the questions about which book has been written by whom. Some kind like somehow
no,
I
no,
feel.
you must be referring to CLAT. We are very specific. Our legal reasoning questions are what exactly you said. A scenario is given, a legal principle is given, and then the options are given. Student has to choose the option.
Okay.
Our legal aptitude question is pretty straightforward, sir, and we are looking at major human action of civil wrongs, criminal wrongs, contracts, constitution. Whereas when it comes to the which book written by whom and all, that is part of the GK, some static GK and some current affairs. So don't worry about, we are very mindful of that. You will be surprised the extent to which we have gone, because we designed our own test by following the logic of the LSAT, but differing with the logic, because LSAT doesn't have anything beyond English language and psychometry. Whereas we put psychometry for the senior students and not for the undergraduates. So we have been very scientific in our approach as far as that is concerned. But maybe CLAT has a different approach, and I am no authority to comment on that. Thank you.
Yeah. Students,
Ma'am,
please
this
drop
is
your
also simple.
questions. Students, please drop your questions. We'll answer one by one. There is a team sitting behind, so they are answering your questions in the chat box. So please drop your questions in the chat box. That would be great for us.
There are about 57 questions. There was
Yeah.
one question on whether 5-year law course is good or 3-year law course is good.
Right.
Yeah, for somebody who wants to dedicate their life to the profession of law from the very young age, like medical profession, in a professional way, then 5-year law course is the way. That doesn't mean 3 years is not. We are all products of 3 years. Today's judges are products of 3 years. But 3-year law, if you ask me, that is right now the 3-year law is to be chosen only in serious law schools, not in every law school. So I wouldn't say which is the serious law school, but by ranking is one indicator where there is a full-time attendance and full rigor of internals and examination is taken. Good teachers teach them, and regular participation of the students in moots and mock trials, etc. is ensured. Then 3 years is good. Otherwise, Dr. Menon used to argue for elimination of 3 years because of the lack of seriousness with which it was taught at that time. But today, law schools, I revived the 3-year law course with that kind of rigor, because I felt that graduates with engineering, graduates with medicine, MBA need to be there in the legal profession, in addition to our 5-year law course products. So that's the only statement I would like to make. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome.
Ma'am, there is a small question that I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
While selecting the law school, if one wants to go for judiciary, right? Does Symbiosis provide additional help for that, for the same?
Very good question, ma'am. Because of the limitation of the webinar, I did not go deep into that. We train them with the special career orientation in all these 130 odd possibilities that I told you, because they belong to 6 to 7 cohorts. So one such cohort is public service, within which judiciary comes, civil service comes, for LLM students, UGC comes. For undergraduate students, there are other avenues, public service avenues as well. So for them, there is a special training that we do. Then those trainings introduce them the papers, some mock papers, and trainers come and train them. We give them, we then connect them to them, so that if they want to continue preparing, they can continue with them after they finish their degree or during the degree. Some of my 5-year course students, this year there's interestingly, 15 students are trying for civil service seriously. So every batch is different, and the interest in the government service is increasing. Hopefully with this Judges Pay Commission report coming in, there will be All India Judicial Service coming in. There will be more takers for these examinations, and we are ready for that. Thank you.
And that is the beauty of SLS, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Madam,
Yeah.
pardon me for interfering, but I have a few queries that I can express better by unmuting myself. Can I please ask my queries?
You can, ma'am, but we are going to wind up in 5 minutes. I'm already overshooting the time given
Hi,
by
ma'am.
the organizers.
Hi,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have a small question, ma'am. Please,
One
could
by
you please
one.
answer?
Okay, okay. Madam was asking
Miss,
a question. Let her complete first. Yeah, ma'am, quickly.
Miss,
Yeah,
sir,
madam.
Miss, I have a question, ma'am. Please, a small question, ma'am.
Aparajita, ma'am, first. Yeah.
Yeah, madam. Madam, under analytical reasoning, would quantitative aptitude be evaluated? And also under legal reasoning, would you ask in the manner of principal facts like that in ALET, or would you go for legal passages, long legal passages on torts, contracts, and then evaluate based on those legal passages?
Ma'am, now mock test will be given. Whatever pattern you see in the mock test only will be followed.
Okay, ma'am.
To quickly answer your question, in analytical, both in logical reasoning, we have both verbal and numerical. Whereas in analytical, also we have more numerical as much as a little verbal. Legal will be, as I told you, scenarios and solutions.
Okay, madam. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome. Who
Ma'am,
is
I
the
have a,
next lady?
Miss,
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss, I have a question, ma'am.
Okay, please.
A small question, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, the question is there any major difference between opportunities of BBA LLB honors and a BBA LLB normal BBA LLB, ma'am?
Not as a simple degree, as I already told you. It depends on the aptitude of the student. There is a BA graduate who may not, BBA graduate who may not take any interest in capital market or fintech. There will be another BA graduate who may be taking more interest in fintech and capital market. The survival of that candidate and the type of careers of that candidate, despite having BA in the field of business and corporate, could be more than this earlier case study of a pure BBA candidate. So it's all about personal motivation, additional energy they give, and extra courses they do. These days, students do a lot of extra courses. And they learn what they learn beyond the classroom, because this generation, also exacerbated by COVID-19, they're very good in self-learning. So it's all about motivation, them creating a learning journal, learning profile, and defining what is going to be their choice A, choice B, choice C, and how do they make themselves fit for that with skills and knowledge.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. There is a
Uh,
question on, can we edit the
Hi,
application?
ma'am.
Yeah.
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
I'm less so much student like who are not fortunate with fortunes. They will take some loan and everything for their hostel, daily expense and fees. So will they able to do internship outside of college in first year? I hope you are understanding it.
No. First year means what? What do you mean? In the vacation, everybody can take
So
internship,
like just
but not during the duration of the college.
okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
And when will we start? Like when will we get internship in college only? In which year?
Every year, as per Bar Council's rule, every year student has to be sent for 1 month internship. College facilitates this internship. By facilitate, I mean we give recommendation letter, we give you connection and opportunities also in the industry. But finally, the industry may take X in the place of Y, because they may prefer X's personality and skills more than Y. So this is how you also search, we also search. A combination of the two helps to have more opportunities. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, do we
Thank
get
you
any
so much, ma'am.
scholarships?
Students,
Excuse me,
I'm
ma'am.
really very sorry. We
Ma'am,
are
I have
done.
a few queries.
Do we get any
Dear,
scholarships?
can you please hear me? I'm so sorry to cut you, Bacha, but we are done with the time. I have already dropped my number here. Please drop your queries in the same number. I'll try to solve it out. If I'm not be able to solve it, I'll connect you by connecting ma'am, and I'll surely, definitely, I'll try to help you out, whatever your questions would be.
Okay,
Right?
ma'am. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Ma'am, thank you so much for the such enlightening session, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
It
much.
is my pleasure also. I should thank you and SRV for such direct interaction, being one spot access for such a widespread, diverse, and very competent, very honorable crowd. Thank you. Thank you. and
Thank
very
you
well
so much,
moderated.
ma'am. Such a big words for us. Thank you so much. Okay, students, so I've already dropped my number here. And those students who are keep asking me about the mock, please drop message in this number 8288 I'll solve your question. I'll drop your link. I'll help you in your filling application process. Everything would be on top. Okay, so relax and give us a call. Okay, so one important information that I would like to share, that we have two dates for exam, that is 13th December and 15th December, right? So please don't wait for last dates. Apply your application form, fill it as soon as possible, and give your mocks jitna aap de sako. Thank you so much. Ma'am, with your permission, may I wind up the session?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Take care. Thank you.
You
Thank you,
too.
everyone. Students, bye. Take care.
Thank you all. Thank you. All the best. All the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am.